Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Harbour Classic 52 by Whitehaven Motor Yachts. I think you're going to like this one. Twin shaft drive diesel engines. We have a hidden tender garage under here for a 2.4 metre rigid high field inflatable tender. Really interesting. We'll cover exactly how to deploy that in the next video. 2 luxury cabins with 2 heads and 2 separate showers. This is the boat that you go boating on if you want no nonsense day boating, to take out with your special someone, and you can kind of do everything yourself if that's important to you. She's elegant, she's down east styling, and she's no nonsense. Couple of great big Scania diesels in this one. You don't have to have Scania, you can also have Cummins, but it's a really fascinating piece of kit. So today we're going to be doing a detailed tour. We're going to go through all the features on this vessel, and then in the next video, if you are a buyer, we're going for a sea trial. We're going to go out in the ocean, we're testing her on the broad water, we're even going to show you how to operate the tender and the anchor as well. So just starting on the transom, this is your tender garage. I love how we've got the down east classic styling. All you have to do is press a button, the whole garage door opens, and then you just have to press one button for the winch, and with one arm you can deploy the tender. So think about this, the dog has to have a pee by yourself, you can load the dog on, go to the beach, let it do its business and come back in uninterrupted by anyone else. You can fully manage this process by yourself. I've already tested it, it's great. You can also get access to the bow of the tender from another locker, forward accessible in the cockpit. So for just general operations, it's super neat design. And then look how much space we have on the transom itself for boarding people on the transom, relaxing, doing whatever you want, but also getting on and off at the dock. It's the logical place. Plenty of handholds, quite a low center of gravity on this one, so a very stable boat. Her form stability is quite good, so from a social perspective it's going to be great as well. So just here is where we have about a 6-step swim ladder. I didn't actually count all the stairs. It's huge with the grab handle, so even grandma can use that one. However, there is a telescopic 4-step swim ladder which is hidden under the swim platform on the port side, so you don't have to deploy that one every time. Big stainless steel cleats just here, and then what I'll do, I'll actually show you guys a couple of neat features. So if you guys go stand over there and I'll close this door, this has got, there's so many sensible ideas. So a mate of mine, Tony Ross, it was heavily involved in the design. He is been in the industry a long time. I've known the guy maybe 20 years when I used to sell boats, and they've operated a lot of boats, and they think about the specific things that you need to do when you're going boating, and a lot of that thought process has gone into this boat. So this is a fender locker. So we've got the boat's big fenders. I got 4 of them in here. It is a drained locker, so it's out of the way, it's neat, and we're still retaining the boat's looks just there. We plug our shore power just in here, starboard side aft. But what you may or may not notice, well, you won't notice because I haven't told you, just in here, we have a pull-out swim shower, but it goes on a pole just here. So that is like almost like a rainhead size shower. And if you want to get in the nud, I'm talking for the blokes mostly, maybe the girls, you can still do it. You can pretty much have a full-on shower with that pole in this location and wash yourself off, take your budgie smugglers off, get all the salt off, the proper drain just here, and it's a shower under the stars. I think it's fantastic. It's literally been designed for that. So that's really cool. Do your thing. You're all wet. Or if you've just boarded the boat and you have shoes, everyone's going to take their shoes off. We literally have shoe lockers, which we're currently in use right now, 1, 2, 3 shoe lockers. Everybody, you're probably going to invite 10 of your mates on a boat like this. Everyone can stack their shoes in there. We can keep the decks nice and organised. Another thing, just tucked in here, this is the control station for the up-down of the tender garage, but we actually have our external and tender garage light operation from here. So if you're boarding the boat in the middle of the night, you can turn on these courtesy lights just here as you're getting on board. I'll leave that open because it's nice. And it's just a little bit of no nonsense, because then the theme of simplicity carries on, because if you're starting at the beginning of the day, it is essentially a no-nonsense boat to get ready. All you would have would be one mesh sunshade on the front windscreen, and then we just have internal blinds which can all be retracted. You don't need to have anything else up on the bow. The doors, these concertina doors, they will fully close obviously, but they've been designed just to operate in door mode. And then when you get in here, you just have your port and starboard crank batteries and your house battery just here. Flick them on and you're ready to rock and roll. So I like the thought process there, but essentially the Cockpit is down east styling, social boating, this kind of thing. So yes, we've got plenty of corners to take advantage of. We've got the director's chairs which actually stow away. There's a special place for them on the starboard side of the tender when it's in the garage. You can flip both sides up if you just need to move around and you don't have the space. There's grab holds underneath, and they also support the leafs of the table, so you don't have to pull anything out. The foam is good, the angles are great, the sight lines are fantastic, and I think the social space and the vibe works. We've got this extendable, or it's a fixed, but it's a sunshade which has been extends the roof, because that's where the solid roof finishes. So if those of you looking from other parts of the world, because I know my mates in Sweden and Norway would want the sun. In Australia, we don't. We want to have sun protection at all times because our sun is plenty strong enough. So that's all good. Social time out there. Drink holders, proper barbie station in here. Single cooker. That is actually the sink. So you press that down and sink, and then you open it like that and it'll drain away. Hot and cold tap just there. We actually have a fridge, we've got an ice maker, and we have a bin just in here. This is access into the engine room. We're running twin shaft drive Scania 800 horsepower diesels. It's a really pleasurable boat to drive. It's got heaps of oomph. If you want to take it into the marina or the fish and chips, I'm thinking the new fish markets in Sydney, and you just want to do some transverse thrust and swing that boat around and back it in on the dock, it's quite predictable. It's got a bit of a keel under the waterline. It tracks straight in reverse. You've got this big sliding window next to the helm, so you can just pop this one open. You can really run this thing yourself. If you wanted to, pick your mates up from the fish markets and you took the boat out from your home by yourself, you could do it. I've already done it as a little test today. But this window open, so you've got good communication from the helm, very comfortable helm seat, grab hold up high, which you'd use with your left hand moving forward, slide your bum along here. Cleats, we have midships aft and forward midship cleats, then we've got our bow cleats, and because this is an Australian design, we don't care about having teak up here because the sun's too strong. We don't necessarily care about having sun lounges up here because 1 in 2 people get skin cancer from the sun. So yes, if you want to lounge up here, you can, but in this part of the world, we're happy to have this space as it is. Keeps the maintenance down and keeps the fuss down. So this is really a design for the guy who wants to go boating a lot but not have to bother his partner about it. His partner can just come along and enjoy the experience, not need to get involved all the time. This anchor setup is actually a reflection of that. You can operate the anchor from the helm, but essentially as soon as I'm going to show you in here, and we test this in the next video, as soon as you've released the safety, which is just here, you can do everything from back in the helm. And what I like about this is if you have guests or young people hanging out with you for the day, with all of these hatches closed, you can be operating the anchor windlass and be quite happy that your partner or your guests can be standing up on the bow, helping you with sight lines if you didn't option the boat with a camera forward, and you're confident that they're not going to put their feet in the anchor chain and damage themselves. I'm just going to close this. We do have some foot pedals there and there, so they can operate it. Okay, close that. They can operate it from the bow if you want, but we've got enough of, essentially we have enough flare on the bow that you can drop the anchor. Even with a little bit of movement, you can be confident it's not going to hit the bow. Attaching some mooring lines there if you need. 1, 2, 3 forward-facing opening deck hatches. We'll just have a quick look up on the roof. Triple windscreens, wipers, they've all got the wash function, the electric opening sunroof. You could get up here and walk. It's plenty strong. Don't walk on the sunroof. We've got grip fiberglass, I always forget the name of that, up here. But essentially, if you wanted to store some stand-up paddle boards or maybe some foam mats, not a problem up here, because you could just get some straps from the grab rails there and there to hold them on the roof. That's possible. You can mount a radar there, VHF. This is all your GPS communication, navigation lights, and horn is there. But look at the swell being put off by these Maritimos and the Sea Ray just coming our way. We don't have a gyro fitted on this particular boat. It's an option if you want, but the form stability and the center of gravity being a sedan style boat, she's hand laid fiberglass, so it's just traditional production. It doesn't rock around too bad. Like, we'll roll through these waves. They're about to hit us in 5 seconds, just see. And look, this would be the worst place to be when the waves come. But 3, 2, 1, they're hitting us now. Like, it's not that bad. See what I mean? Like, nothing aggressive. When the lighter the boats get, the more techie they get, the more the waves are going to move them immediately. So if you're not confident on your feet, or you could just get surprised, you'll end up in the drink. So this is pretty good. Little drain here. Now, I am stepping on the upholstery to walk through, so I would suggest go the other side ordinarily. I deliberately did this because I know Tony, who's operating the camera, he's holding it with his right hand. So that's why we did that. So let me show you these doors, because these are pretty cool. So they slide, this like quadruple doors, but they're actually pretty easy to slide. And then if you just want to use it in this function, you can, boom, boom. But it's actually a really good mechanism. It's very smooth, and then it locks in the open position just there, boom, boom. Happy days. Okay, I'm going to start on the starboard side and we will work our way around. But this, actually, come here and just look this direction first, because this is something that I think, sit down here with me and just look back. I've got so many mates with nice waterfront houses, and when you have a boat like this, the interpretation that I get is that it's an extension of your house. You got a sweep pad. My buddies like this, and they don't really go out after sunset. So they'll have a nice day, everything's organised, they kind of just have picnic platters, maybe one of us will organise the food because he's doing the boat thing, and we just go and have a really, really nice day. Everyone's protected. Now, he's got kids now, so it's even more important to not be in the wind, not be in the sun. He wants to manage the boat himself and basically let the rest of us enjoy, because we're just having fun friend time. And it's so nice to have a design like this, because who remembers the days lazing around at the house as opposed to on the boat? I always remember the boat days. So I think you do something like this, it's an extension of your house, and then you just go out and enjoy your time. Because in terms of the way they've designed this interior, you are going to be needing to set up the drinks, so they put the drink station right where you're going to be serving the drinks. So we've got storage. You could put a big platter here, or you could make your cocktails. One thing I've noticed about this boat, every space they've actually designed, every open space they've actually designed storage into it. But this lounge here has specifically been designed with softer foam to have a sleep, basically, and read a book, because that foam there on that couch, I'll sit on in a second, has been designed with slightly harder foam, because there's a big TV which pops up behind me here, which has been specifically designed for you to watch the cricket or whatever sport you're into, and the tinting of the glass has been designed in such a way that you can still see the TV in the middle of the day. Okay, so you can sit around here with your mates, you manually drop this table down, put your feet up, watch TV, good times. Or if you're just having a lazy afternoon, someone can have a sleep there, and then you've got that view. You're private, but you can see out, which is lovely. But deep storage. I told you about that one already. We've even got a little bit of storage behind here, power charging points, making our way around. I told you that this was up, down. We also have a drawer storage underneath here. This is a good little side table for putting some drinks down. You can throw a few items here, but to be honest, there's more spaces forward. AC control, all of your 24 volt systems are just operated from here. You've got your Victron panel, and I told you about the house and crank batteries, more 240 or 110, depending where you are in the world. That's all very comfortable. And another thing, okay, these windows are opening. I'm gonna actually open them now. I've got the air conditioning on, which is why they were closed, just so you can get a feel. Because with these open, and I like that it's just manual, we can also pop open the sunroof. We've left it closed because the sun's a little bit hot. It's the beginning of autumn, but we're in Queensland. I don't want to get sunburnt. But we can pop this open, and we've got the sun protection if we need. So we can kind of choose the environment as we see fit. And let me just close that. The point I was trying to make, I don't know. Please jump in the comments and tell me if I'm on the right track, or if you're going to use a boat like this differently. The reason why this galley has been set down one level is because I reckon a lot of you guys and girls, you really are going to be benefiting from a design like this for proper day boating, and it's just about serving platters. So the way this has been designed is we've got this glass here that you can press a button, and this glass will actually fade out, or it can go transparent. So if you're with your family, you can have it transparent. So you've got communication here. You can serve your platter, or you've ordered your lunch, and you can do all your prep stuff and take it straight up and do your lunching thing. But if you did hire some, a chef or a hostie for the day, and it was more of the corporate vibe, you can press the button, this will fade out, and then this becomes like the staff area. So it's kind of interesting. I like what they're thinking. I'm going to go right through it in a second, but there's so much more to talk about. So we'll focus on the Helm, and then we will, storage in there. We will get down to the galley in a second. So we do have the possibility to have red lights for navigation at night time, and then we've got white lights as well. We're running straight shaft Scania diesels on this one. They're 800 horsepower. She's standard with some Cummins 715 horsepowers. And with these engines, she's about a 28 knot boat. We tested that in the next video. And the next hull is going to be even faster. I'll talk about that on Patreon for those of you who are interested. But this, it's a very, very comfortable boat in displacement modes, and she sits super happy in the mid-20s. With good visibility, no need to stand up and drive. You can actually just sit and drive and enjoy yourself. And then the communication is great all around. But come in and just have a look at the features so you can understand what's going on. We have basically a throw spot here with some charging points, stereo connection, generator control from the wheel. We do have the remote control operation for docking yourself. The throttle's just here, VHF, chain counter, engine management. This is the zip wake control. These are your windscreen wipers. So we've got the wash function. You can operate them all individually. And then we've got the Scania engine displays. We have one on starboard, one on port. This is air conditioning. To be honest, I think it would be fun or good to have 2 of these outlets so you could direct air in multiple directions, but it's not the end of the world because all of this is pumping AC across the top as well. I just like having the option sometimes. The steering wheel is adjustable, autopilot, variable speed electric bow and stern thrusters just there. This is your boat system, so this is telling you all of your bilge alarms. And then we've got our multifunctional touchscreen display. So they're moderately big, not the biggest size, but enough to run whatever you like. And then we've got our fuel on this side, and drink holder, and other tank just here. But we can monitor them digitally if we need. And water is here, stereo control there. But this is pretty cool. We've got all our remote controls for various things like the sunroof, but you can actually slide this back. Got some deep storage in there, a couple of drink holders, throw a phone, and this is actually, this is charging if you need it. So that's actually contactless charging just there, but we've got more charging. You see I've actually charging some of my drone batteries because we're going to go out and do another fly before the sun goes down. We can increase the space if you need, like so. And then we've got storage, and if you wanted to stand and drive, I personally wouldn't because it's a sit down and drive type thing, but you might find it comfortable to do that. And then the seats will go forward and back, by the way. You have a really comfortable footrest, which makes sense. So you could set the seat to the position that suits your body type, and then you're kind of comfortable and driving and doing a little bit of this. So it's quite elegant, sort of what you'd expect from a down east style boat. So come on down to the galley. There's heaps going on. So we got deep lockers, so that would be good for toasters and coffee machines and all sorts of things. We've got a charging point, so we can set that up as a coffee station. Storage everywhere. They've somewhat designed this to be flexible because I know a lot of you, or Whitehaven know a lot of you are going to be having different size platters. These are cool. I like how they don't waste that empty space in the corner. You're going to have your own setups for platter boards and plates and things, so they can be a little bit flexible. I think it's fair to say you could consider these guys as a bit of a semi-custom builder. So if you say to them, hey, we want this on the interior or we want that on the exterior, they'll do the drawings, give you the price and make it happen. It's not like you have to have one specific thing that you see on the brochure. So your recycling is just in here. We got a dual burner, and actually there's a slot for this, so that will slot away when not in use. 2 burner cooktop up here, but don't forget we got the Barbie out back. AC as well down in this location. This is actually a dishwasher, so it's a single rack dishwasher, and we've got sort of moderately deep storage along here. And again, you could build some shelves in there or different designs depending on what your picnic platter looks like. Not wasting any space. Again, you could do bottles down there. We've got access into the bilge and the water tank below my feet. Freezer, fridge, light switches. It does lock in the closed position in a C-way. And then access into the sump boxes, but we actually have another fridge that's quite a decent one in there, and above me is actually a pantry just here, so we're not wasting any space, and even a drawer there which would be utilized for various items. So I said it was a 2-cabin boat, but I want you to jump in the comments and tell me which one you think is the master, because we have one cabin with a toilet and shower here and another one here. Let's just go in. I think this is quite pleasant. If you just have a look at this bed, there's a couple of things going on, and it's arguable whether you could just call this two masters in terms of the design. Because we've got a beautiful island bed, which can be designed to split and do two singles. So we do have storage. You could do a couple little, light blankets in there, nothing super, super big. But then you've got storage here, deep storage behind this locker, storage. We've got 12 volt charging on the lights. We actually have 240 volts on the port side, and big opening ports. Just don't forget to close these before you go underway. And that's the centerline deck hatch that I pointed out when we were up on the bow. So it's also an escape hatch, but it'll be fine for forward-facing ventilation. And this one is a big hanging, okay. That's a big hanging locker. That's the biggest one, but we have a half size on the port side. So you probably give that to your wife and you can take that one because we're blokes, we don't need much. And then we do have some drop down blinds for privacy. You can control your AC from inside. And okay, so yes, this is your private head, but it's also the day head. So you can lock this door if you're using the cabin, but you can also, by utilizing this door, this becomes the day head when you are out for the day, and this is what everyone's going to use. But we've got storage, nice vanity, we've got the toilet operation behind all of these mirrors. You've got plenty of space for toiletries bags, like so. We've actually got ventilation through two options, quite a big hatch above the shower, so it's really going to vent a lot of steam. If you're having a hot shower, you've got holding tank indicator just there, and a proper decent stand-up shower. So even though this is perhaps the VIP, you're not struggling with the amount of space you have available to you here, so it's quite nice. We've even got an AC outlet or an extraction fan. I'm not exactly sure, I haven't turned it on which one it is. And this space with the lip just here, you're not really going to, well, you're definitely not, there's two lips. You're not going to send any water from here out into the rest of the boat. It's going to stay in that area. So now tell me which one you think is the best cabin. Let's do it. So yes, this is officially the master cabin, but I just do believe the other one's perfectly legitimately usable for another adult couple. But you've got beautiful views out of the fixed port. We do have one opening just there. You pretty much, like, as long as you're careful about the curves, can have stand up, walk around. Like, I'm 5'7", I've got that much room above my head, and then on this side, you can step down. So whoever's the tallest should take this side of the bed, and whoever's the shortest should take this side of the bed, but it's still possible for you to get up and go for a pee in the night without waking up that person, which is useful. Pull out drawers, nice little vanities. You even got as you can see on that side, you've got a place for your night slippers. It's all very cute. The carpet is very plush, quite soft underfoot, and the insulation is noticeable. The other thing, they've actually specifically designed the air circulation in these cabins to be equal, so you don't have one person getting cold on one side of the bed and the other person being hot. It's providing an even flow of air. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawers. Nice little place to mount a few bits and pieces if you want to dress the cabin. We can drop that down for privacy. Mood lights, down lights, floor lights. It's all quite cute. We've got big hanging locker just here. That's got a full-size stand-up mirror, and we've also got another mirror, but I'll just show you these door locks. The way these operate, you just press them like that, and that unlocks it. But then you've got this full mirror, so if you need to check yourself before you go out, that's doable. And then you've got more storage even underneath that step, which is cool, and like that, that's what I meant to do. And then AC control there, and quite a lovely head and shower unit with 2 opening ports. So we've got that deck hatch in this port, same as the other side. So you can really vent this if you want. A good shower cubicle, quite tall. So if you are a tall person, you're gonna be, I can't even touch the roof. So quite tall, actually. And then the space in here, yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty good. Like, it does the job. Good storage, more space. Okay, that's actually deeper than the other cabin. We do have electrical sockets inside there for charging your items. And down, does it have the, yeah. Oh, okay. It's an extraction fan. It's an extraction fan, not air conditioning. So you've got extraction fan, and then you've got natural air ventilation, but the air conditioning is on and it's cool in here, so there might be another vent that I haven't found. Put some toilet rolls in there. So yeah, what do you reckon? Is it two masters, or is this genuinely the master and the other one's the VIP? Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. Okay, let's keep going. We should check out the engine bay from here. All right, so I have opened up this hatch, and you can see you can get to the bow of your tender. So 2.4 metre high field, that's a aluminium bottom. So you can just chuck stuff in there, and you'll see in the next video, it's also quite possible to board and then chuck your dog in. And just come with me. So this is the engine room access. As you can see, straight shafts. Isn't that great? I know a lot of you guys get in the comments and you're not fans of IPS, and that's fine. That's up to you, and I understand there is a cost involved in maintaining an IPS, which is true. So if you just want to keep it traditional, straight shafts is going to be you. So this is where the gen set is mounted, and then if we go aft from here, that's the storage area that I showed you earlier in the video of the fenders. You can see the raw water pickup for the gen set just there. Now we're looking at the exhausts, main engine exhaust, starboard sight gauge for the starboard fuel tank. And now let's go forward. See these beautiful big stainless steel mounts standing on the checker plate on the center line. And I'll go forward, and you've got your Raycor dual filters up on the forward bulkhead. Raw water pickups just there, and there your midships or engine room bilges, I should say. There's your fireboy system. We're looking starboard, engine extractor fans, and then you've got your switchboards, or your switching. And now we're looking on the port side, and you can see, get a good idea. The tanks are wing tanks on either side, so 1,300 litres or 340 gallons each. And just giving you a bit of perspective of the Scania. You've got your Victron Energy, and you can actually, it turns into a crawl space to get down into that other corner down port aft side, because we are now looking at the tender garage. Batteries on the center line, and here is your battery management. But actually, I'll just pass this camera back to Tony, and then I want you guys to get a shot. I'll go back into the middle. It's almost, okay, I'm not the tallest bloke. It's almost stand-up headroom. So like, bend your knees a little bit. You can still get in here. So from a mechanic's perspective, even more so when you go forward, because the floor drops a little bit, I can almost stand up. So it's not tight like you get in some boats, and there's plenty of space to move around and do your thing. So it's perfectly fine. So if you want to do a bit of management of the motors yourself, I think you can. And don't forget, the intervals between servicing on a Scania is much greater compared to, say, a Volvo. Come on, let's go up and wrap this video upstairs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the test drive video is going to be coming up next, so I will link to that at the end of this. We'll just do a little bit of a wrap up. Who of you are going to see the most value in owning a Harbour Classic 52? I think the beauty is in the simplicity. What do I mean by that? It's the simplicity of operation, it's the simplicity of design, and it's the simplicity of it. It can just be an extension of your life at home. If you've got someone who perceives boating as like a little bit of a drama or work to them, someone in your family, someone that you care about, and you introduce them to a style of boat like this, it's very welcoming, because you can do everything and they can just do this. or in that corner or the other one. It's a very, very pleasant environment to be in by way of design. And by way of design, it can also be a very simple boat to manage. So if you are a globally minded person and you're not in the country all the time, but you're perhaps not all that interested in huge service and maintenance investment, well then maybe focusing on shaft drives and a design like this, which doesn't have so much bright work externally or external maintenance required, therefore it may make more sense for your boat life. You know, is it going to be those of you coming up from the Harbour Classic 40s? Are you going to be coming from other, stylish sedan style motor yachts? I think it is going to be someone with an eye on design will appreciate this. Or are you going to be coming out of the sailing world and now you appreciate or are moving into the motor yacht world? I would be interested in your feedback, so please jump in the comments and literally let me know. So yeah, that's all very interesting. How does it drive? What could or should you be comparing it with in the market? We will cover that in the next video. We'll also do a little demonstration on how to get this tender out, because I think that's pretty important for those of you looking at something like this. So my name's Dan Jones. You're watching Dan's Boat Life, coming from sunny Queensland. Hope that was very useful. Love you lots, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.